Hi guys, I'm Gabby and welcome to my channel if it's your first time here, and if you're returning, thank you so much and welcome back. Today's video is a requested one, and I'll insert the viewer's name and question here because I do not want to mispronounce his name. So to that viewer, I'd like to say thank you for your question, and of course thank you so much for watching my video. So his question was, what questions are asked at customs? This question was under my most recent video about your approved visa not being a guarantee for entry into the United States. Now remember, there are two types of visas. There are immigrant visas and non-immigrant visas. On my channel, I focus mostly on marriage-based visas, which are a type of immigrant visa. Before we begin, I want to clarify that either type visa is not a guarantee of entry. However, someone who is holding an immigrant visa has already undergone an extensive background check and should 9 times out of 10 have no issue being admitted in the United States. However, it is a possibility for the U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer to find an issue that could result in inadmissibility, such as a security or a health threat or risk. Okay, so with that being said, the majority of these questions that I'll outline will be for non-immigrant visas. These are the people who are staying temporarily in the United States, such as people on a tourist or student visa. First person you'll meet on your arrival will be an officer of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. This officer will inspect your passport to verify that you have been given permission to be in the United States. So the officer will ask you questions to try to gain information to help him determine if you should be prohibited from entering. If arriving on an immigrant visa, meaning you have a visa for new lawful permanent residency, the officer will most likely request a sealed envelope that should contain your immigration file, which should include your medical records exams that you took prior to your immigrant visa interview. Please note that this information may have been transmitted electronically. If so, you will have a notation in your visa saying IV docs in CCD. Make sure that you have all your paperwork ready. Be prepared for long lines at the port of entry. You will be asked for your passport, so questions will be regarding your purpose of travel, what you do, where you live, etc. So these are like short interview questions to validate your intent. So the officer may ask, why are you visiting the United States? And your answer must match your visa. For example, if you have a visitor's visa, you don't want to say you're coming to find a job, because then you'll definitely be denied entry. Or if you're entering with a marriage-based green card, then obviously you want to say that you're coming to live with your spouse. Please know that the Customs and Border Protection officers have the right to ask whatever questions he deems necessary to validate your right to enter into the United States. These questions may or may not be asked of you personally. If you're coming to the United States for a temporary stay, the officer may ask, where will you be staying? This officer is trying to determine if you have a clear plan for what you will be doing here in the U.S. If not, then this will call into question whether you should be allowed in. Another possible question is, who will you be visiting? Again, this is a question that's directly mostly to those on tourist visas. The officer is looking to see that you have clear and also legal plans. Additionally, you may be asked, how long will you be staying in the U.S.? If you're coming on an immigrant visa, then this most likely wouldn't be asked of you. The officer may ask, how much money do you have available for this trip and who is paying for this trip? Again, these are questions as temporary visitors. They want to make sure that you're able to take care of yourself while you're in the United States. Another question is, have you visited the United States before? And if so, how long did you stay? So if you had a previous stay in the U.S., they want to see if you overstayed what your visa permitted you to. If you did, they may ask you for explanation as well as ask you for evidence to back up what your answer is. Moving along, another question might be, how often do you come to the United States? Here, the officer is looking for people that are on a temporary stay, like a tourist visa, to see if they're trying to find a way to live and work in the U.S. Basically, they're trying to see if you're trying to misuse your visa. Again, guys, these questions are at the Customs and Borders Protection Officer's discretion. For my husband, he was first asked to see his passport, which had his immigrant visa inside, alerting the officer that he was a new permanent resident. So this resulted in him being moved along to what is called secondary inspection. Please do not be alarmed if this happens to you. It kind of like freaked my husband out a little bit. But the secondary inspection is kind of routine for those on immigrant visas because it allows the customs officers time to review your immigrant file. So at the secondary inspection, he was asked by another officer for his marriage certificate. Please check out that video here where he tells the story about that. So I hope I've answered the viewer's question well. If there are any additional questions from you guys or from the viewer, please leave the comments in the comment section below. And before you leave, don't forget to click the like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And of course, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.